Hello, my name is Melissa, and I will be guiding you through this Vinyasa Flow yoga class. We'll begin in a seated meditation, so find a comfortable seat. It may feel nice to use a little bit of height underneath you, so maybe sit up on a block, making sure that your hips are higher than your knees. Once you arrive, gently close the eyes and allow your hands to just rest on your knees. Come to observe the breath, gently inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Becoming aware of the quality of your breath. Can you allow the length of the inhale and exhale to grow longer? And begin to invite an ujjayi breath, a slight restriction in the back of the throat, as if you're fogging up a mirror, but keeping your mouth closed. Creating this audible oceanic sound as you inhale and exhale, warming up the body internally. Stilling the mind, we'll stay here for about 5 more breaths. Good. Now moving into Kabalabati Breath. You're going to breathe in and out through your nose, but it will be a sharp, forceful breath that moves from the belly. It'll be a pumping sound. It'll look like this. And your belly will pump in and out. We're going to do this for a 20 count, starting with a cleansing breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out your mouth. Inhale halfway. And begin. Exhale completely. Deep inhale, fill the belly. Retain the breath. Gently exhale the air out. Utilizing this Kabalabati Breath breathing technique to fully energize the body before we move into our asana practice. We'll do one more round. Take a deep breath in, cleansing breath out. Inhale halfway and begin. Exhale completely. Inhale fully. Hold and retain the breath. Gently let that air sip out. Coming back to normal breathing and gently opening the eyes. Moving on to hands and knees, preparing for cat-cow. As you take your in breath, drop your belly, lift your tailbone. Exhale and round the spine. Draw your chin to your chest. Full breath in, lift the heart, drop the belly. Exhale and round. Inhale. Exhale. Keep continuing this movement with breath at your own pace for a few rounds. Coming to a flat back, gently lift the tailbone so you create a little bit of extension in your low back. Spread all 10 fingers. Begin to lift the hips, coming into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. Exhale, let that go. Lift your heels up, coming up onto all 10 toes. And then exhale, press your heels back down to the earth. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, ground down. 1 more time, lifting. And exhale, let that go, settle in. 2 more breaths here, really explore any movements that feel good. We'll begin to walk the toes towards the top of the mat, finding your forward fold, Utkatasana. Allow your head to get really heavy here, maybe gently shaking the head out side to side. And firmly root the feet into the mat and inhale to rise up. Take the arms with you, inhale. Exhale, hands by your side, finding mountain pose, Tadasana. Feeling all 10 toes connected and rooted to the mat. Gently lifting the arches of the feet. Move that energy, that awareness up through your legs as you slightly engage the front of the thighs while you relax into the glutes. Pulling your navel to spine. Lifting the center of your chest and pulling the shoulders back. Take a full breath in here. And settle into the exhale. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, Arda Chandrasana. Exhale, forward fold, Utkatasana. Inhale, find your flat back, lengthen your heart forward, Arda. Exhale and fold. Root down, inhale to rise up, reach the arms overhead. Exhale and let that go. Tadasana, mountain pose. 2 more. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, let that go, mountain pose. Tadasana. 1 more. Deep breath in, reach the arms, look up. Exhale, hands from your waist. Reach for the floor and look towards your belly button. Find that flat back. Lead with your heart on your inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Root down and inhale to rise. Take the arms with you. Exhale, float the hands back down, mountain pose, Tadasana. Moving into our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lead your heart forward. Plant the hands, either step, or lightly jump back to plank. Option to take the knees down or lower down Chaturanga Dandasana. Rolling on the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a moment to find stillness. Bring the big toes together. Bend the knees, look where you're going. Little hop to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Root down, inhale, rise up, reach the arms. Exhale, mountain pose. 1 more time. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, Arda. Plant the hands, step, or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll over those feet, lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep lifting your tailbone up towards the sky as you press your heart towards your thighs. Bring the big toes together, bend the knees, look where you're going. Little hop. Inhale, find that flat back, Arda. Exhale, fold, Utkatasana. Inhale to rise, reach the arms overhead. Maybe pressing the hips forward here as you lift your heart. Exhale, mountain pose. Moving into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Begin to sit the hips back and we come into Utkatasana, chair pose. If you peek down, can you see all 10 toes? Make sure you're sitting those hips back and putting the weight into the heels. Inhale to reach your heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find the flat back, lengthen. Exhale, lightly hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg into the air for a 3-legged dog. And exhale, step that foot in between your hands. Back heel drops to 45-degree angle. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Feeling the connection of your feet into the mat. Feeling grounded, feeling strong. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, float the hands down, gently step back into plank, lowering down on your exhale. Inhale, rolling onto the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg into the air for that three-legged dog, and exhale, step it in between the hands. Back heel drops, reach the arms up. Making sure that front knee is stacked over your heel. Pull navel to spine and lift up from your heart center. Inhale. Exhale, float the hands down, step back into plank. Gently lower down on your exhale. Inhale to lift, lengthen into that back extension. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, settle, soften into it. Bring those big toes together, bend the knees and look at your thumbs. Take that little hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Root your feet down. Inhale to rise all the way up. Press the hips forward, lift the chest. Exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. We're going to do that one more time. Surya Namaskar B. Bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. Begin to sit the hips back, finding a little bit of anterior tilt in the pelvis. Right? And then pull the navel to your spine and then lift your chest, finding that back bend. Take the arms either in front or overhead. That feels good. Feel that weight sitting back into your heels. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. Step, step, or jump back. Lowering down on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Really pull those shoulders back like you're dragging the heel of your palm to the back of the mat. And then let's lift those hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg into the air. Exhale, step that foot in between your hands. Back heel drops, 45-degree angle. Inhale to reach your arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands down, step back into plank and lower down on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg into the air. Exhale, step that foot through, drop your back foot. Inhale to take the arms up. Exhale, settle into that pose. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands down, step back to plank. Lower down on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Big toes come together. Bend the knees. Look where you're going. Little hop to the top. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold all the way down. Bend the knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. How low can you sit down? Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Good. Keep the eyes closed here for a moment. And as that dust settles, just become aware of what arises on the surface of your consciousness. Take a step back with your left foot, moving into warrior one. 45-degree angle on the back foot, arms reaching up overhead. Again, making sure that front knee stacked over ankle. The hips are driving towards the front of the mat. Pulling navel to spine and lifting up and out of that chest. We inhale here. Exhale, moving into warrior two. Back foot turns 90 degrees. Front heel, back instep, line up. And arms reaching out to the side. You could imagine driving your front heel and your back foot towards one another. They're pulling, creating that isometric tension. Be engaged through the inner thigh muscles. Inhale. Exhale. Keep your legs as they are. Bring your right elbow to knee. Left arm swooping around, bicep along ear. Just thinking of that rotation from your chest as you turn towards the ceiling. Keep sinking into your legs, front knee over ankle. Inhale, come back to warrior two. We're going to turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat and then move to the other side. So now your left toes will point towards the back of the mat and then sweep the arms up, warrior one. Finding front knee over ankle alignment. Press down firmly through your heels. Inhale. Exhale, open to the side, warrior two. Turning that back foot. Open your heart and get long through your side waist. Sink into it a little bit more. Connect with your breath. Utkatasana Partial Konasana. We'll take that left elbow to knee, sweep that top arm up and around, bicep along the ear. Once again, get really strong in your lower half and then revolve your chest up towards the ceiling. A little bit of rotation. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat. Hands on your hips. Jump your feet together. Good. So coming into mountain pose and then tree Utkatasana. Hands by your side, lift your heart, shoulders back. Feel the grounding, rooting sensation from the base of your feet connecting down to your mat. I want you to spread all your toes on your left foot and lift your arch. We're going to put all the weight into that left leg and take the right foot. Either toe can stay on the floor, that's where you're at today. Sole of the foot can come to your ankle or calf muscle. Or we can maybe go above the knee. Right? Just make sure you're not directly pressing at the knee joint. Bring those hands to your heart center, lift the chest. Find your focus point. Maybe taking the arms overhead. Maybe if you have a mudra, take that. Bring your focus inward. Connect to the breath. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. If your arms are up in the air, gently bring them back down to your heart. Slowly, gently release the right leg back down. Finding mountain pose, take a breath in. Exhale it out. Grounding down now through that right foot. Spread all 5 toes. And we'll take that left foot. Either keep it on the floor or to the calf or above the knee. Hands to your heart center. Find your focus, your balance. And then maybe taking the arms overhead, playing with your balance. One more breath. Gently bring your hands back down to your heart and release the left leg to the mat. Mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. Join me at the top of the mat. And from here, we'll take a big step back with the left foot. Back toes will turn to the side of the mat and both legs will straighten. Setting up for Utkatasana, triangle pose. Taking the arms out to the side, warrior 2 arms. We're going to reach as far forward as we can with that front hand. Kick the hips as far back as you can. And then from there, we're going to tip over. And this bottom hand can either come to your calf or maybe a block is a really great tool to use here. Or maybe you can come all the way down to the floor. As long as you can keep a really strong core here and we're not just dumping down. Shoulders are stacked, top hand directly over your shoulder. Find a comfortable place for your neck. No strain, no pain. Come into this pose and breathe. Settle into it. From here, we're going to move into Arda Chandrasana, half moon pose. Taking that top hand to your hip, I'm going to bend the front knee and place my right hand in front and just to the right. So it's on the pinky side edge of that foot. I'm going to start to place all the weight in that front foot as my back leg starts to lift off. Finding that balance. Lift that leg up as high as you can and press through your heel. Toes are pointing back towards you. Just get a little bit more glute engagement. Maybe top arm reaches up. Once again, finding a happy place. It might feel better to look down. If you want to challenge your balance, you look up towards the ceiling. Reaching out strong through all 4 limbs, creating length. And breathe into that. One more breath. Gently bring your hand down onto your hip and very slowly lowering that back foot to the mat. Coming back up, warrior 2, hands on your hips. Let's turn all 10 toes. So we set up for the other side. Left toes now face the back of the mat. Legs are straight. Arms reaching out to the side. Utkatasana, triangle pose. Reach as far forward as you can onto the back of your mat and kick your hips as far back as you can. From there, tipping over, hand onto your calf, a block maybe to the floor. just check in with that front knee, making sure it's not locked. We've got a little bend, very subtle, soft bend to protect the joint. Press down firmly through your feet and imagine drawing them towards one another, engaging inner thigh muscles. Inhale, lengthen through that top arm. Once again, we're moving into Arda Chandrasana, half moon. Taking that top hand to your hip, bend the front knee. Place the left hand in front of your foot and begin to gently take off, lifting that back foot into the air. Find your balance here, and maybe top arm reaching up. Explore what it feels like to get a little bit longer, reaching out through each limb. Slowly coming out of the pose, bring your hand onto your hip. Gently reach down with those toes. Come back, warrior two. Hands on your hips, turn all 10 toes to the side of the mat. Oh, goodness. Take a breath. Exhale it out. We're setting up for Prasarita Padottanasana next. Wide-legged forward fold. So for the feet, slightly pigeon-toed. So that the big toes turn in, heels out. Hands on your hips. Taking a full breath in to find length in the spine. And exhale, start to fold forward, hinging from your waist. And then see if you can reach for the floor. Just stay there. Gently pull yourself inward. Contract the abdominals to create more forward flexion. And pull your weight forward onto the balls of the feet so that it almost feels like you could tip forward to get maximum stretch into those hamstrings. Staying here for a few more breaths, soaking it in. Bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale to come halfway. Exhale here. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Keep the feet as they are and take the hands behind your back. Prasarita Padottanasana. C. Pull the shoulders back. And if this isn't available, use a towel or a strap to get a little bit more range. Lift from your heart, pull the shoulders back, inhale. And exhale, begin to fold forward, hinging from the waist. Allow those hands, wrists to come away from your low back and up towards the ceiling. Let the back of the neck get really long and heavy. Crown of your head reaching for the floor. Two more breaths here. Releasing the grip of your hands and bringing your hands onto your hips. Inhale, find a flat back. And exhale, stay here. Inhale to come all the way up. We'll turn the right foot, toes to face the top of the mat. And just turn that back foot so it's pointed at a 45-degree angle. Hips are squared off to face the top of the mat and legs are straight. Coming into our Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. So great option to have blocks by your feet for a little bit more height. Or if you're coming down to the floor with me, join me now. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge from the waist. Tapping down onto those blocks or the mat. Keep plugging that right hip up
or that right thigh up into the hip socket, and driving your left hip forward. All 10 toes pointing forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and fold forward. Slowly begin to bend the front knee. Bring your hands onto your waist and press into your feet as you lift back up to standing. Turn all 10 toes and turn to the back of the mat. Ooh. So doing pyramid on the other side. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, take it all the way down. Inhale. Lead with the center of your chest. Exhale and melt over that front thigh. Inhale to rise, hands on the hips, and then turn all 10 toes, and then once again, face the top of the mat. Now moving into Parivrtta Trikonasana, so a revolved triangle. This is a really great one to have a block. I'm going to grab one for this and place it on the pinky edge side of my right foot. Once again, hands on my hips to start. And then I'll take my left hand up towards the sky. Inhale, find length. Exhale, start to hinge forward, lead with your heart. And then take that left hand down to either the block or maybe the floor. Find your balance, feel the connected rooting sensation with your feet. And then from there, turn your heart towards the right side of the mat. Take that right hand maybe up towards the sky for a full revolved triangle. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, twist a little deeper. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly bring that hand down. And we'll do that on the other side. Take your block with you if you are missing one. Reach that right arm up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, start to hinge forward. Take that hand onto the block or to the floor. Plug that left hip back, right hip forward. And then from there, start to turn your chest towards the side. Maybe taking that arm up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Slowly take that arm down to the floor. Inhale to rise. And let's come to the top of the mat. It's finding mountain pose, taking a breath here to reset. Good. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. We'll just step back and then lift the hips up into our downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, take that right leg into the air. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Drop the knee. Finding our low lunge, Lunge Asana. So option here to untuck the toes. Just being sure that front knee is stacked over your ankle. So you can stay here with your hands on your front knee, really working into the hips. Or maybe it might feel good to take the arms overhead. Maybe it'll feel good to interlace the fingers, point the index, cross the thumbs. And lift those arms, pressing your biceps into your ears. Keep lifting, lengthening from your spine. Maybe it might feel good to add a little back bend. Lifting out of your chest and reaching back. Coming back up through center, taking the hands down beside your front foot. We're gonna tuck the back toes, lift the knee. The left hand on the floor and open up into a twist. Right hand reaching up towards the ceiling. Making sure that this left shoulder is pulled back. Lift the hips up a little high, getting strong in that back leg. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, take that top hand down, step back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Settling into this space. Observing whatever comes up. Let's take the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, step it in between the hands. Dropping the back knee, maybe untucking the toes. Hands can come up onto that front knee, or explore what it feels like to take the arms overhead. Maybe pointing those index fingers and hugging the biceps beside your ears. Pull that navel to spine, lift the heart. Maybe invite a slight back bend in here. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands, come back through to center. We'll take the right hand down, tuck the back toes under, lift the knee. Left hand comes up. Good. Press back into that heel and lift your back thigh. Pull navel in and open your heart towards the sky. On your exhale, take that hand down, framing your front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Full inhale. Exhale, side out. Gently bring your knees down onto the mat. Come to take a seat. Just rolling onto your hip. Do a little bit of ab work in our yoga practice today. Moving into Navasana, boat pose. So coming to take a seat. Knees are bent, heels on the floor. Just playing with our spine for a moment to really understand where our extension is. So if you were to hold onto your thighs, round your back, curl yourself in, right? We're in a deep flexion here. And then doing the opposite, pulling your heart through, lifting up and out of that chest, right, into our extension. Keep that navel pulled to your spine and stay here. So this is level one. You can stay here if this feels good. If you want to take it further, the feet come off the floor. Further, the hands come away. Further, the legs straighten. We squeeze the inner thighs together and breathe. Keep pulling that belly button to your spine. Inhale. Stay with it. 3, 2, 1. Come back through to center. Good. Let's take it onto our backs for Yogi Bicycles. Hands on your ears, feet come off the floor. Really try to keep those knees right above your hips here, extending one leg out. Bring that opposite elbow to knee, or as close as you can get it. Coming back down, reset, other side. Moving in a slower, controlled pace here to honestly make it a lot harder. Inhale to come down. Exhale, reaching up. Contract into those obliques. Let's go for 3. For 2. And for 1. Good. Hug the knees in. Press down through that low back. And then we're going to bring the hands onto the back of the thighs and roll yourself all the way up. Cross the ankles and come onto hands and knees. We're going to move into some arm balances next, starting with crow pose, Utkatasana. So bring the hands about shoulder distance apart, the fingers spread wide. So imagine now these are your feet, so they have to be very balanced. Now, we're going to kind of come into this yogi squat. We're going to bring the knees close to the armpit here, the very top of your tricep. And then shifting your weight forward. Right, this might be enough for you today, just getting the mobility down. If you want to take full crow with me, make sure you're looking just slightly forward, not down. Look forward, lift the hips up, and then maybe one foot comes off the floor. Maybe both. Right? Keep kicking your heels to your bum, lifting your pelvic floor, that mula bandha. Inhale. Exhale. If it's in your practice to shoot back, come up into Cobra. Find a back bend here. Pull those shoulders back. Very good, very good. All right. Just taking a child's pose here to relax the wrists, the shoulders. Might feel good to turn the palms up towards the sky. Just bow the forehead to the mat. Come onto all fours, hands and knees. Very gently lower your belly down all the way onto the mat. Turning your right cheek onto the mat and letting your arms come down by your side. Setting up for Shavasana, locust pose. Starting with the upper half of the body. Turn your forehead to the mat. Slightly tuck the chin. Begin to reach all 10 fingers towards the back of the mat, depressing the shoulder blades down. Press the pelvis into the mat, squeeze the glutes, and lift your head, heart, arms. Engaging the muscles along the spine. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. This time adding the legs. Press the pelvis into the mat, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, upper body. Invite the legs in. Creating strength along the back side of the body. Keep lifting those thighs away from the floor. Inhale one more time. And exhale, turn your left cheek to the mat. Rest down. Do that one more time. Bring your head back through to center. As you inhale, rise up. Head, shoulders, arms, and legs. Keep pulling your belly button to your spine, creating abdominal engagement. See if you can lift everything up just a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Take the hands under the shoulders, press back. And we're going to come to lay on our backs, setting up for bridge pose. Once settled on your back, bring your feet flat on the mat, knees bent. Shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Gently begin to lift the hips up, coming into bridge pose. This might be enough, or maybe taking the arms, interlace the hands, shrugging one shoulder under and then the other, really broadening across the chest. Keep pressing your shins away from you and lifting up through the glutes. Taking one more breath here. If your hands are interlaced, gently release and slowly roll the spine all the way down to the tailbone. Just let that settle for a moment. I'm going to bring right ankle over knee. And then let your legs fall over to the left. Just finding this reclined twist. If it's available, grab a hold of that right ankle and pull it in closer to you for a deeper twist. If it's available, taking the full twist as you gaze over towards the right, looking at your thumb. Settling into the stillness of the pose and observing what comes up. Come out of the pose, start with your head, bringing it back through to center. And then gently draw the legs back through, releasing that ankle, both feet flat on the floor, and just taking a moment here to make any adjustments to realign the spine. And then take that left ankle over right knee. Let both legs fall over to the right. Maybe grabbing a hold of that left ankle, pulling it in closer. Incredibly juicy outer hip stretch here. And then maybe turning the neck all the way and looking over to that left thumb. Just taking a moment here to really allow those shoulder blades to settle down into the ground. Become very heavy. Soften into the belly. And find a deeper expansion on that inhale. With every exhale, can you let go just a little bit more? Bring your head back through to center. and then your legs. Take a moment, readjust. Then I'll have you roll over onto your right side. We're going to finish up with a inversion. So 2 options. You can take legs up the wall for your inversion, or if Shavasana headstand is in your practice, take that with me now. So moving into headstand, I want to take the fingers interlaced and tuck that bottom pinky in. The hands should rest just on the top of your head, just past your hairline. And the elbows, we want to make sure that they stay fairly close together, shoulder distance apart. We want to avoid them leaning out to the side. Bring your hands down to the mat, tuck those elbows in, and then bring the crown of your head down. From here, lift the hips up and start to walk your toes in. Pulling pelvic floor up, Ula Bandha. Hug one knee in, and then both. Very strong in your arms and shoulders here. Slowly begin to lift the legs and find meditation. Connect with the breath and the stillness. The body might be trying to find its center, find its balance, might be moving little bits here and there, but can your mind find stillness? You are in headstand. Just prepare to slowly come out of the pose. One leg comes down and then both. Finding child's pose. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, gently press yourself up. Preparing for our final posture, Shavasana. Props are a great option. You could always take a bolster underneath your knees if you've got any back tension, or a blanket, socks, grab some extra layers. Come to join me on the back. And once you arrive, take your legs about mat distance apart. Let your feet just flop to the side wherever they lay. Arms rest with palms facing up. And just be aware of where your shoulders are at. Maybe shrugging one shoulder under and then the other. Let that chest fall open. Take a deep belly breath with me, expanding belly, rib cage, chest. And then exhale and let that soften. Let go of any holding or tension. Allow your body to just be however it wants to be in this moment. Fully let go of any restriction. Let's bring the awareness back to the physical by deepening the breath. Inhale fully. Exhale it out the mouth. Very gently bringing small movements back into your fingers, back into your toes. Maybe creating circles with your wrists and your ankles. And then begin to slide one heel in and then the other, gently rolling over onto your right side. Using the top arm, press yourself up. And let's find a seated position, short meditation to finish the practice. Again, it might be a nice option to use some height underneath your seat. Bring your hands onto the tops of your thighs, close the eyes, settle in. Become aware, so simply aware of this moment, and this moment. Being present with whatever is arising moment to moment. Letting go of attachment or holding. Letting go of any aversions or cravings, the likes, the dislikes, and just become neutral, equanimous mind. Taking a moment here, bringing your hands to your heart center. Bowing your head down. It has been my pleasure to lead you through the practice. Thank you for allowing me to hold space for your practice today. The light in me honors and truly sees the light within you all. Namaste.